family to the Blaugrana Parisiens episode 30. It's a special episode, and I mean, both of us are champions in this video. Welcome, Barca boy.
Pleasure as always to be on the PSG in channel.
Yes, sir. So, let's do like a summarization. How was like your league campaign? You were obviously at the top in the beginning, then in the middle. I think you were at your worst, 9 points behind. Maybe you had the game in hand or
10,
something.
10.
10 points behind.
Mm-hmm.
And now you are 7 points clear of Madrid.
I think it's
No, you lost. Maybe
yeah, we lost and they
five,
won. So
four.
maybe like 2 or something.
Okay.
Let me actually check because now I'm actually curious.
Four.
4, yeah. Because we beat them and then we just lost. That makes sense a little bit.
Yeah.
But in terms of the league, this is by far the best league victory I've seen and witnessed as a Barca fan. Mainly because of the expectations at the beginning of the season, how good Real Madrid were coming into the season as well, the corruption in the league, how the league were fighting against us on 2 different occasions as well, trying to bring down the club as a unity, as an institution. Every single thing didn't go our way. We know we twerked and we begged with the referees, and we still didn't get anything going our way. You saw the Clasico, the 4-3 last week or 2 weeks ago, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just been the story of the season. The fact that we were up and we were kind of hyped, then Madrid were up as well, then we came back. All these accumulations for me, this is by far the best league title I have witnessed as a fan. There's been other ones where it's been like a good race between us and Madrid, of course. We had the Atletico one as well back in the day. But for me, not only was this a very close race that saw us being 10-point clear, then Madrid were 10 points clear, and then we won the league by 4 or 5 points, but also in the fact that what happened around it. So, beginning of the season, if you look at the graph at the beginning of the season, Madrid were 90% favorites to win the league. We only had like 10%. We had like 8%, and Atletico had like 2%, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And then what happened in January as well with Pau Victor and Dani Olmo, how the league and also the federation were fighting against us at both different scenarios, and us still winning it. It's a beautiful sight to see.
So I saw like a tweet, and it was Xavi's season at Barca last season, and Flick this season. Obviously, Flick has still one more game to play, but both of them ended on 85 points, if I'm correct.
Yep. Well, we have 85 now. We still have one more game to go, but we're not winning the last game, so we probably will finish on 85 points.
We just show like the main difference, obviously, that they showed was the goal difference. 35 goal difference last season under Xavi. This season, 60 goal difference.
I think the big difference is Madrid. Last season they overachieved a lot, which is kind of why this season they kind of got hit with reality a little bit. And same with us. Last season, I think we kind of underachieved overall. Now we're achieving things, but of course it comes with trophies and situations like that. I know the point difference is the same. I think even Xavi, in the season that he won the league, if you look at it, I think he only had 88 points. So you're talking with this kind of core Barcelona player, they finish around maybe 84 to 89 points. I'm pretty sure it was like 88. Yep. See, so and Madrid at that time they have 78, which they have right now. So I think Madrid just really overachieved last season. I think we kept on pace. I think even so, if you look at this season, right, where we won the league. Season after that, where Xavi out shit football, we only dropped 3 points overall. So when you put that into retrospect, you think that okay, it comes down really to Madrid. They overachieved. I think this season that you have on the screen, and also the season like in La Liga, this is kind of their level. This is kind of what I expect from them. 78, maybe pushing 81 or 82. If they overachieve, they overachieve. But I still think that this league title is by far the best I have witnessed as a fan, without a shadow of a doubt.
Which one was the best before this? Was it one of the Pep Mourinho ones?
Yeah, that 2011 one, that was quite crazy, quite tight. Because not only with the football, but also the fighting between the managers and the press conferences. That was peak entertainment. But that was more so with the stuff off the pitch than on the pitch. This for me is everything on the pitch, how he played, going into the season, new managers, same players, how they're gonna perform. What happened off the pitch as well. La Liga fighting us in August, fighting us in January. All the refereeing stuff that happened. That Madrid were attacking the referees, and we still got no, not favoritism, but at least 50-50s going our way. When Madrid, we know that Madrid, when the league title is close, they do everything. Papa Perez gets on the phone with everybody, and he makes sure that they have as much advantage as they can. And despite that, we still beat them. This is why Barcelona always cherish league titles more than Madrid. If you look at Madrid last season, I don't know if you've seen the clips going on Twitter over the past few days when they were doing their parade of Tchouaméni. He's trying to start a chant, and there's like no Madrid fans were like doing the chant because they don't really care, because they know that unless Barcelona are in peak performance, they will win the league, which we saw in my lifetime. I've seen, I think, Barcelona now win I want to say 11 or 12 league titles. Madrid, I think I've only seen them win 4 or 5 times. And in those 4 or 5 seasons, we were just like shit. Like last season, the season of COVID as well. And all these times, I remember even Koeman's season, we were up with Koeman by 3 points. And we lost back-to-back home games against Granada. And I want to say Osasuna. And we kind of threw it away. I think the only league title where I'm like to Madrid, fairs, was probably that 16-17 season when Messi scored last second, because we kind of bottled that in our own sense. We were trailing. We won the Clásico last thing with Messi. We didn't pick up the momentum. So I think Madrid, like, then they were kind of fairs. The rest, I just think that we were just beyond crap. So that's why I think Barcelona holds league titles more. We're on 28, they're on 36. So hopefully my lifetime, I at least see Barcelona have more league titles than Madrid. I think that's definitely a possibility in my lifetime. Because we do definitely value it. Even Laporta, he was saying before begin this, his standard is always you win La Liga, you do your best in the Champions League. You never make a priority the Champions League like Real Madrid. We don't ask for it. Maybe next season we will, because it's been a long time. We did really well. We'll see. But Laporta's stance has always been league title is the benchmark, because that sets the platform of consistency and Spanish domination.
And going into next season, do you think Madrid will be better with Xabi Alonso, Trent, who more?
Dean Huijsen. Yeah.
And then that Carrera guy. Carrera.
Benfica back. I think it's very much what we had with Xavi. I see so many similarities. Xavi came in, of course, we spent a lot of money, but we know with economic levers, but we still, signed Lewandowski, Koundé, Christensen, Rafa, Franck, Kessié. Madrid are kind of doing the same thing. So I think they will definitely be much better. I think they will have at least a bit of tactics to their game. But I still think that Barcelona are the better team. I think Barcelona as a unity are better. I think Madrid just have too many big name players. I'm very, very, very interested to see how Xabi Alonso handles the egos, which is probably the only good thing that Ancelotti did this season, was to control the egos and let Mbappe and Vinny go too crazy. Now we're seeing Rodrigo being very upset, which he kind of held a lot. Remember, don't forget the R campaign at the beginning of the season, because people were saying, oh, it's a front three of Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinny. Don't forget the R. Then, of course, to make up for that, he went with that front four Ancelotti. He had the 3 up front, then he had Bellingham in the 10. And we saw how Barcelona cut them apart with that. And then he had to go to 4 midfield against Barcelona, which means that one of them has to be dropped. He picked Rodrigo. So very interesting to see how he handles that. And not only that, you're going to have Trent battling with Carvajal, legend of Madrid. Very good right back still. Coming off the back of ACL, but of course, Trent is that next level. They're going to have a hole at left back. I think even if they signed Alvaro Caceres, he's a good player. But I don't think he's a world beater. We saw how well we did against him in 3 games. Of course, Dean Huijsen, fantastic center back. But is that enough? If he's going to go with the 3 at the back, we'll see. But I see a lot of similarities of them hiring Xabi Alonso with us hiring Xavi. Club legend coming in. You get on the hype. I think that maybe he'll last 2 or 3 years and then maybe get the sack like Xavi did. That's how I kind of see it. But I'm not too threatened. Again, it's going to be the same team, and we're going to, of course, going to make improvements. As long as we make the improvements that we need, I'll be very happy. We only need. I've been told by sources that Barcelona will make a minimum 2, maximum 4 signings, and that's all we need in this team. It's like when you watch other sports and peak football. When you have the best team, you have to make improvements. I remember, they'll show the overlap right with the English pundits, like with Roy Keane and Neville and Jimmy. Yeah. So Roy Keane was saying on that show that after United won the treble, they didn't sign anybody. They went to that next season and they didn't win anything. Or I think they won maybe like something, but they underachieved a lot. And he said that he went to Ferguson. He was very upset because once you have a winning team, you have to continue and build on. I'll just say, okay, back up and let's just keep going with what we're going with. So, as long as, my opinion, you make the signs that we need. You give Flick, as Flick even said yesterday after the celebration, that I know what I want. I know what this team needs to take that next level up. As long as we do that, I will be very confident.
But you made some comparisons to Xavi. Obviously, Xabi Alonso, he's won the Bundesliga unbeaten. He's been in Europa League final. He's been in the Champions League round of 16 or quarterfinals.
Mhm.
And then I see Madrid doing something, trying to fix that problem before the season starts. So I could see Rodrigo being flipped. The Carvajal trend thing you mentioned, that was a good point. That would obviously be a very sensitive issue.
Mhm.
Xabi Alonso also played with Carvajal in 2014, right? La
Yes,
Decima.
yes, yes.
So he also has that relationship. And we saw when Xavi came, there was some favoritism to like Roberto as well when he
I
came
mean
to Barca. So
to give Xavi a bit of credit, he did of course he kept Busquets and Jordi Alba, but he benched PK and Roberto quickly. Just very quickly, Xabi Alonso is 100% a better manager coming into Real Madrid than Xavi was for Barcelona. 100%. More
yeah,
experience. He's done it at one of the top five leagues. He's won trophy. All Xavi had was Qatar. What I was comparing was the club legend coming in, the expectation, because we still felt the
okay,
same way with Xavi than with the Real Madrid with Xavi, because of course Xavi Hernandez was doing so well in Qatar, winning trophies, style football was clear, blah blah blah. Xabi Alonso was just
yeah,
doing the same thing at a higher level. So the expectations, the fan feeling is the exact same. That's where I make the comparison. He's getting the signs that he wants. I'm seeing graphics of 3-4-3. The same thing was happening with Xavi as well. Those are the comparisons. I think that Alonso is definitely a better manager coming into this big job, but I think the expectation, the similarities in the style of play, the hype between the fans, the boards, the reaction, very, very similar path.
yeah. And I've also seen reports that like Perez wants to give Xabi Alonso more power than he's given to previous managers.
And
This
what
is
did Xavi
something
do?
we
Xavi did the same thing. He went to say, said, "Look, I'll sign with Barcelona if you give me, you know, a lot of say." And if you saw the Amazon Prime documentary, he's sitting in the boardroom discussing
yeah,
transfers with him, Joan Laporta, Rafael Use, the vice president, Matteo Aleman, and Jordi Cruyff. He was in that meeting. He was talking about Conde, Arujo, center back partnership would be unstoppable. We of course only saw that like 3 or 4 times, but he was talking about that. He was the one pushing every single one of those players that we signed during the economic lever summer. Those are all Chav's requests, and those are all the first options.
yeah.
Because we said, okay, if we don't get them, we'll go to plan Bs, but we never had to because we got all the plan As over the line. So see, all these things are the same. So they might have a first season hype. We'll see, because Barcelona are going to be coming into it pretty good, of course, during the Xavi time. Real Madrid weren't they just won the Champions League, but their team wasn't super galacticos like it is now, and being added on top of that now with
Yeah.
Hoyson and Trent and stuff like that. So we'll see, we'll see.
But for example, you said last season they overperformed, both in the league and in the Champions League.
Yeah,
But I think this season they underperformed. So I think they will
I agree.
automatically become a better side next season.
Well, I think they definitely underperformed this season. They definitely overperformed last season. But
Yeah.
we don't know if they're going to perform or overperform or underperform this upcoming season, because expectation will be a big part. Having a failure of a season, I've seen Madrid have 2 or 3 now trophyless seasons, and the next season after that, it's hard for them to bounce back. Why? Because when they went trophyless, what did Barcelona do? They won everything. And when you win everything the season before, you have more motivation, you have more intent to do it again, because that winning feeling is so addictive. It's like drugs. Winning and being on top of the world is something that every player always wants. That is the issue with Real Madrid, because it's not like, oh, we won the Copa del Rey, they won La Liga, and they have something to go off of. They won nothing this season, and we won everything, of course, Spanish wise. That is the big thing. They have to now come into this coming season and throw the champions in each competition that they will be playing in. So it's different in that sense. When Xavi came in, we were coming off the back of a trophyless season. Madrid, I think at that time, they won. I think they won the same thing. They won the Champions League. They won the Champions League and La Liga. And we came in. We dethroned the match champions of Spain. We won the Super Cup as well. They didn't win the Champions League, and they got beat by Man City 4-0. So they went. I think they won the Copa del Rey, and they knocked us out. So when you come in to a Madrid job with Barcelona having dominance, new style of play, and winning everything, it's more of an uphill battle, and there's going to be more pressure. So performance-wise, it's going to be will they perform the same? Are they going to perform a little bit higher but not be enough? Will they perform super high and it be more than enough or still not enough? All these things will play a key role.
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
mean, that's why they're aiming for the Club World Cup. They're trying to make all important signings now ahead of it.
Yes, and
And
that's also
obviously,
a
if
big
Madrid
factor.
win the Club World Cup will automatically mean 10 times more, have 10 times more value because Madrid won it. So
But don't forget about
That's
that
how
as
they want
well.
to get back into it before the season even starts.
But don't forget, they're gonna be dogging it out for a month or so in a Club World Cup. Well, the champions and the best team in the world is gonna be rested up, ready to go for the new season. I don't even think they're gonna do a preseason. That's how tight the schedule is. Especially, I think maybe it depends on how far they go. But let's say, for example, they get at least semifinals. They're gonna be playing a football from June to July. And when we're starting our preseason, getting fresh and doing all the right routine, they're gonna be knackered and tired from a month of playing football. I guess the opponents might be maybe a little bit easier than expected.
This is like a World Cup. Like, have we
Exactly.
noticed and felt that players are tired after a World Cup campaign?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we even saw this season with Fermin Lopez, for example, coming off the back of a Euro and Olympic, how slow he started the season and how much he's improved in this
But
year.
don't you think it's because he's young as well? Because we saw the same thing with Pedri as well.
But you look at these players this season; they've been overplayed, man. Like Madrid won, they went to quarterfinals of the Champions League. They got to the final in
Yeah.
every single, Spanish Cup, losing to us in both ones. They went. They played, of course, 38 games. They're doing all this. They're gonna have now what 2 weeks break, then play a whole another month tournament, have another 2 week break, and then boom, the season
True.
again starts up again. So it's very, very
Yeah.
quick. And again, you're gonna see these players, the same, core 14 players play. Of course, if Xabi Alonso rotates and doesn't care about the Club World Cup, it's a different perspective. But I think Madrid are going to go for it since they won nothing this season. They're going to play, Vidi, Jude, who are already. Look at them. I don't know if you saw the game or even the highs against Sevilla. They look so tired. There's just game weekend, midweek weekend. The only reason they had a break the past 2 weeks was because they got eliminated in the Champions League. So they had a few little midweeks off. And even still, they're still struggling against Celta at home 3-2. They almost choked that before the Clasico, and they had a week off. All this with there being a whole other tournament and the expectation. Xabi Alonso is already starting. And again, Xabi Alonso is going to be criticized now as well. If he doesn't do well, like, oh, is he good enough? This 3-4-3 is not going to work in a big tournament. They're going to be playing big teams. Al Hilal, Inter, Bayern, PSG, players, teams at the peak level. That's still going to be, of course, season fresh. The rhythm and sharpness is still going to be there. So I think this is also going to be a big play. I think this will have a big play a lot in August, September times. I think Barcelona really need to have a good start to the season and take advantage of a time. They still can of course, come in and play well. But I think that this Club World Cup and the games played will catch up with them at some point. Of course, the players and athletes are unbelievably fit, but there is a capacity because at the end of the day, everyone's human.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Madrid, they see this Club World Cup as that think that can start off the season even better than it is, and they will be aiming for it. I see them as like the toughest competition to Paris Saint-Germain in the Club World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And
that final will be very nice.
Can you guys meet?
Can you guys meet in the final? Are you guys going to be on the same brackets?
I mean, it depends if we finish like first and second. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you both finish first in your group, are you expected to meet in the final or in the semis?
Yeah, let's actually. I think they usually have it on.
Because that will be interesting as well. The Mbappe derby.
Mbappe would take that game so seriously.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't think there is one yet.
If you scroll all the way down, the bracket will come up here now after all the group. Here it is.
Okay.
So
wait,
which group are they in?
So Madrid are in H. I think we're in A. No, B.
H and B. Winner of H. So winner of H is at the bottom. No, they will meet in the semis. Look, winner of B is there June 29th. So you guys will meet in the semis if
okay. If they come first. If they're second.
So one of you guys finish second, it'll be on the other side. You both finish second, you'll be on the same side. If you both finish first, you'll be on the same side. So that'll be interesting too.
I back Al Hilal to come first then. So we can get the World Cup final.
But yeah, I think especially after a poor season, there's gonna be big pressure on them to win it, especially being a first edition as well. How about you? How was your league triumph?
This season, I think last season we heard a lot of Marseille, Neymar, Messi left, Ramos, Verratti, and then I remember we had a really bad start last season to league and first 5 games. I think we only won 2, so people actually started believing, PSG are gonna drop off. Obviously, won the league. Then this season came up. Marseille made a lot of good signings. Got De Zerbi in. Monaco still look good. Lille look good. Southern Mid UCL, they did, good enough. All of the Ligue 1 teams made it through to the top 24, including Brest. But we made Ligue 1 look even easier than we did last season. Without Kylian Mbappe, it's definitely the most enjoyable season because so me and you, we find enjoyment from winning the league in different ways. For you, is that winning over Madrid. For us, it's how dominant can we be? Like how much better can we be? Because like we will always be the best, like 8 out of 10 times. But like when Messi was here, I remember we only won the league by like 2 points. So
Mhm.
now I don't know, like we're like at least 7 points ahead or something. Could have gone unbeaten, of course, but because we're in a Champions League final, it's okay.
You'll let
Because
that slide.
we have everything else, we can get it another year. Um, no, it feels really great, and this is my expectation: dominating the league, barely going unbeaten. Because that's exactly what we should be doing with this league. Like the
Mhm.
quality difference between PSG and the
I
rest
want to
is
talk to you super quickly. I think you made a video on it, but I didn't watch it. And I saw on Twitter about, I think Nasser, he wants to force League to make it like a tournament top four at the end of the season. What are your thoughts on that? Have you seen that?
okay. No, I've seen the reports and I've discussed it, but I didn't know that Nasser
I think
was
he was like the
concerned.
spearhead. I could be wrong. Maybe the tweet I just saw had his picture. But what are your thoughts on that? Having the league table finished and the top four, like
N-
first
n-
versus fourth
No, no,
versus to third.
no, 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 no,
And I
no.
think from the
It-
outside looking in, as how people see league, I wouldn't mind it.
yeah, look, my issue sometimes with Ligue 1, sometimes with PSG and its fans, they listen to the non-PSG fans, the non-PSG fans too much. So people always
Mhm.
say, "Oh, it's a farmers league," and then they're like, "Oh my god, it's a farmers league. We have to fix it some way." No, Lille are getting better. The league year by year is getting better. We're seeing that in the European competition. I'm seeing that when I watch PSG against other league and teams, like they're getting better and better. So competition will only grow. We got Paris FC in the league now.
I was about to ask you that
I,
too. How you look
their
behind?
owner even richer than
Mhm.
than Nasser Khalifa and QSI. So I think the competition, yes, this season it was a little bit embarrassing for the competition of the league. But the quality is upping. We saw in the Champions League. So no, I think this would definitely ruin the league. And it's this Americanized thing,
It
Barcelona.
is very. It
Because
is.
you
It
watch
is.
NHL,
It
MLS,
is.
NBA, all of them have the same thing.
I just
They
like
put
it
it in
only
the
because
Champions League, but it's okay. Why? Because the Champions League, it's a cup tournament. It's about
yeah.
the knockout stages. It's not about
So,
the group stage. But the
mhm.
league is about the league. You're
No,
saying that
you're
doesn't
right.
matter.
You're
As long as
right.
you
You're right.
finish
You're
top
right.
four.
You're right. It just from an outsider looking in, it just makes it maybe it won't be PSG every year. That's how I see it.
But don't you think we would just rest our players, finish top four, and then at the end of the season just hammer them?
True, but like in a one-off game, you never know. You never know. That's the
No,
thing. When
that
it over consistency, I think you guys win it 9.9 times out
true.
of 10. But if you win it, like, oh, you still gotta play two more games and do or die. You never know. You probably will. I think you'd probably go from 9.9 out of 10 wing it maybe
Yeah.
like 8.9, something like that. So there is, a bit of a lesser in a one-off game. Where will it be played? Let's say, for example, if you finish first, then you probably have like home advantage. Let's say you finish second and you place first place in the final. And say, for example, it's Marseille. They're at
Marseille
home.
away.
You know what I mean? One-off game to win league. I
No,
mean,
that is true. That is true. That's what
but I.
America does so great. They create the absolute biggest games, but then they make the other games basically irrelevant.
Mhm.
Um, I
But
one thing,
I agree with you though. I agree with that. I don't think they should do it because keep
yeah,
the American shit out of here.
they've already done something like that, which I like, which I'm for. I told you we copied the Serie A and your guys' Super Cup. So we had
Mhm.
postponed it 2 times because of different stuff to winter. Now they're saying we're gonna play in winter. It's gonna be 4 teams, and that's more exciting, and that's like a change I'm in for because it works.
Gives
But the
more
League
importance to that
One,
title as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Plus, as we've seen Lille win the league. We've seen Monaco win the league. If this format existed, Lille and Monaco would not have won the league, and they would have had to play PSG in a
Mhm.
one-off game. So, yeah, I genuinely hope it does not happen, man. I genuinely hope, and I hope Nasser is not at the. I
Yeah,
thought he wants to keep
I just
sports
googled
alive.
it. I just checked it now. The tweet. He was just as a picture. He wasn't like the spearhead. It
Uh,
was more League that I thinking about it, not even PSG.
Yeah, no,
But
Ligan.
I just thought it was pretty a pretty cool idea. Even like they do it in like Portugal as well, where like 9 10 out of 10 it's gonna be either Benfica or Sporting, but then them playing a final to win the league, that'd also be pretty cool. But yeah, I know it. I
But
do
you've
just
seen
agree
Ligan
with it.
recently. New logo, new trophy, new anthem, new this. I don't know. It feels like we're losing. It's too much change, man. We're losing what Ligan means, like the culture, the heritage of Ligan, and we're becoming
Hmm.
this American woke. Like we have a basic logo. It looks like the Liga Nos logo. The trophy looks like a Super Bowl or like a NBA trophy. It's too much Americanized in this sport, and yeah, I think I mean the quality is upping. That's the most important part, but like the overall is getting worse. Um, yeah. So league campaigns. Let's discuss Ballon d'Or. So, uh,
Yes, please. Yes, please. I
so
think
I
Lamine
mean,
Yamal like has seen your videos and seen your videos, man. I think he saw it. Like I gotta put this guy and let him know who's boss.
no, I
So
think
just got
Lamine
announced. Like
Yamal. What?
I was gonna say, did you see the announcement like just before it went live from France Football? They
Yeah,
announced
the
when they're
Ballon
gonna
d'Or is
release
going
the
to be
Ballon d'Or.
1 month earlier.
Yeah, September 22nd. That's big for Lamine. You know, get that we got that PR already going. The hype I think can stretch till September. I don't know
Actually,
when
I
the
like
voting will
that.
be done. I like that. I'd rather it be like you vote in August and then you present it in
Okay.
uh how did we do it like back in the day? Oh, they did it like in January. I guess I'm just kind of old school, but that's how they did it back in the day. They would vote for it in like August, once in September, once the season was over, and then they presented
Yeah.
it in January. That's where like Messi, Ronaldo, and stuff won it.
Yeah.
I like it like that. I think voting during the next season is stupid because that definitely influences a little bit in your voting. It should just be on last season, so that's why you should have the voting during then. Like voting in like September, where there's already been a few La Liga games, I think it's just or you know league games in general. I think it's stupid, but it being a month early is I think it's better than having it like middle of October.
Yeah, yeah. I've always wanted it because yeah, they say, "Oh no, we're not gonna vote because of what happened in the beginning of the season." But as you said, there's always a bias. It's always gonna affect them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, I think I think Ballon d'Or this season way more exciting than last season. Last season it was genuinely between Vinny and Bellingham for majority of the year, from what I remember. Maybe we tried to push Mbappe into it when we were in the Champions League semi. Um, that was about it. This season, though, I mean, it's been very Barca dominant. You had Rafinha pushed for it. You had Pedri. You have Yamal. We've had Dembouz. Madrid trying to push Mbappe. Bayern fans trying to
I'm
push Olise.
wallahi man, I cannot believe the disgustingness I'm seeing with Mbappe. I saw people in my chat. Oh, if Mbappe wins the Pichichi and they win the Club World Cup, he'll be in the top three. Top three for what? Are you shitting me? He won a Pichichi because Lewandowski was injured for a month. I think if Lewandowski was fit, he definitely would have won it. And also he stat pad on penalties. His season from August until December was crap. He had a good month. Yes, he scored a hat trick against Barcelona. Look at the hat trick he scored. Two 1v1s and a penalty. He's not scoring golazos. He's not, not beautiful build-up play and good finishes. He's just beating the high line and then scoring penalties. Look at the 5 goals he scored against us. 1v1 in the Super Cup final. Free kick from like outside the just outside the 18-yard box, which is basically like a penalty. A penalty again. Went 1v1. And then it's happened from Vinicius. Like he sweated it to him. Like, and again, he lost all Clásicos. You could score 20 goals for all I care. As long as we win, I don't mind.
That's the thing, Barca boy. That's how has been living the past years.
I know. No,
People don't watch
it's
him, and then they're like, "Oh my, he finished the season with 60 GA." Yo,
it's
he's
the satanic PR of Madrid. At least with my Lamine Yamal
no, no.
PR, so
This is
at least
Mbappe.
semi viable.
Okay, yeah, obviously Mbappe gets more PR pushed by Madrid and so on, especially because he has no competitor at Madrid. But this is exactly what Mbappe did. Look at the 4 biggest games in the Champions League. 4 straight stinkers versus Atletico and Arsenal. Nobody's talking about them. Like they never happened.
Even against Barca, he doesn't even play well.
Yeah,
I'm telling
exactly.
you.
He lost. He lost. Mbappe gets propped for losing games. Oh,
It's crazy,
I mean,
man.
he put in a good shift. He carried the team.
He's the only one who cares. I mean, get the hell out of my face, man.
But you make it too easy for him, though. Like when I watch Barca Madrid, I'm like,
You're right.
come on, Barca, come on, Barca.
You're
And then
right. You're right. Wait, hold on, Lahdabis. You're right. But who won? Who lifted the trophy?
No, I know, but look at Mbappe PR now. Imagine Mbappe.
Disgusting,
Imagine
man.
in the Nations League game, Yamal looks down on the floor, Dembele looks down on the floor, Pedri looks down, Olise looks down, and then Mbappe is cooking. And then they win the Club World Cup, Xabi Alonso PR and everything. I think I predicted this before because I think the Club World Cup, especially if Madrid win it, I know that if we win it, people will say, it's a glorified Mickey Mouse trophy, nobody cares. But if Madrid win it, Madrid are the first team to win the new Club World Cup and are the best team in the world. Even if we win the
no, they
Champions
won't say
League,
the best
Madrid
team.
will call
They
themselves- they win.
won't say
Even
they're the best
tweet
team in the
that.
world. They won't say that. They'll say champions of the world. They won't say they're the best. They'll be like champions of the world.
Okay, maybe Champions. Okay.
Yeah. But on the Ballon d'Or, it's gonna be between Lamine and Dembus. It's gonna come down to what happens in the next few
You
weeks.
don't see Mbappe?
No. I think the PR of Barca players and Dembus is just too high for him to catch up. Unless this man scores like 10 goals, wins the Club World Cup, scores 5 goals in both games in the Nation Leagues and wins it, I doubt he gets back into it. Like what I talked about with Rafinha, you asked me during the international break in March, is there any way Rafinha can lose it? And I said the only way is that if he underperforms and someone else overachieves. 2 months later, Rafinha is like 3rd place and Lamine Yamal is on top of the world. That's how quick it can change. And Mbappe sure can just because of his stats this season. But we talked about this a lot because you and I, we both hate Madrid together. Even though you might hate Barcelona a little bit and I might hate PSG a little bit, we both hate Madrid together. And we've seen what they've done with the Ballon d'Or over the past few years. They made it more about trophies. They made it more about trophies to the point that now we have to read criteria. Even now, the France Football, they tweeted about the date. They also tweeted the criteria. The criteria is individual performances, decisiveness and influence, collective success and titles achieved, and fair play. Those are the 3 criteria they're going to be looking at. And that's the 3 criteria that they asked the journalists to vote on. That's how narrow the Ballon d'Or race has become because Madrid have just made it simply about winning trophies. If it was based on who is the best player in the world, Messi would have won 12 of the last 13, right? That is, I think, a given. Every year that Ronaldo won it, Messi was the better player. Ronaldo won it because of Champions League success. Same with Modric as well. This season,
Ronaldo had some better seasons than Messi.
Okay, yeah, that's why I said 10 of the last 12. I didn't say all of them. I said I give Ronaldo a few. Sure, do you think Ronaldo should have 5 Ballon d'Ors?
No. I think
he should have 2, maybe 3.
Basically all 3 peats. I don't know, man. Because that's the thing. For me, I've lost in touch. You say more like Madrid. For me, I've just lost in touch more with the Ballon d'Or because they seem to never really tell you what it's about. Like not even just in the Messi Ronaldo era. Sometimes it's about trophies. Sometimes it's about consistency throughout the entire season. When Messi won it, yes, he had a good season with PSG, even though he wasn't that big in the Champions League for us. But he won that club. He won that World Cup.
Yeah,
which was so valued. It overtook Haaland, who had a 55-goal Champions League treble season.
Yeah.
So,
but even in that season,
that's all they care about. It's what you do in the biggest competitions.
But
so
even
Mbappe
that
can
season,
have a season, he wins Club World Cup. If they value it as a big competition, that's a huge season for him.
But even in that season, Messi was performing better from August with PSG until May with PSG with Argentina in the middle. He was still performing at a super high level. Haaland was just scoring goals. And that's why it's easier.
Who's been better, Messi that season or Mbappe this season?
Messi that season. If you're including the World Cup in it as well.
No, not including World Cup. So just
like Messi for PSG that season, and Mbappe for Madrid.
Season, yeah.
I'll still say Messi. Messi was at least consistent. Mbappe had a good month spell and scored a hat-trick against Madrid. That's all he's done this season. 4 stinkers in the 4 of the biggest games. I would even argue in the first 2 Clásicos he dropped stinkers, even though he had 1 goal in those 2 games. In the first 4 months, people were talking about benching him and playing Bellingham up front.
Yeah,
he missed that penalty against Liverpool. You and I did that live stream in the big moment where there was no Vinny. Remember, Vinny was, I think, suspended or injured or something to take his chance. He missed it. We both laughed at him. We both enjoyed it. And after his hat-trick against City, what has he done? From that end of February until the Copa del Rey final, he did nothing. He got a few braces and goals against, remember, Mallorca and stuff. We talked about that, how his goals are coming in from the club's 10th and below. Remember how we looked at that graphic during the international break? All these things, he has not been performing at a world-class level. It's a team that's full of superstars that are, of course, going to create chances, and of course, he's at a high level.
That's what the casuals, the people that vote, would not see. They would just see, oh, top goal scorer in La Liga, potentially top goal scorer in top 5 European leagues. Madrid, despite losing, they were still in 2 finals, second in the league.
Mm-hmm. I still think if he does not, he needs to win something. You cannot be a Ballon d'Or winner without winning anything in this modern day football.
Yeah, but the Club World Cup, Chicken Nations League.
I mean, if he wins both of those, yes, he'll be in contention for sure. There's probably not stopping that. And with it being French football, maybe there's going to be a bit of favoritism for the French players, even for Dembélé as well. Because if Mbappe wins the Nations League, that means Dembélé is going to win the Nations League. That comes with it. But I think that Mbappe, the best he can do is top 5. I don't see him top 3. Even with the Club World Cup and Nations League, I still don't see him top 3. I think the other players that we're going to discuss have just had way, way, way better seasons than him. I can give you 5 players right now that have better seasons than Mbappe considerably, like by a distance. It's not hard to name.
Salah.
Even
Salah. The only reason I see Mbappe like this is just the Club World Cup because Salah is not there.
Salah, Lamine, Pedri, Rafa, Dembélé have all been better than him, without a shadow of a doubt. I think yes, you can argue Mbappe top 10. I don't think he's performed at a top 10 player of the world this season, but with his PR and him getting the Pichichi, sure, chuck him in there. But he's not going to be there's no way he's going to be top 5 unless there's a huge Madrid shift in terms of the Club World Cup and then the Nations League as well.
Has there been a top 5 in the last 10 years with a Madrid player?
Maybe the time when we had the Messi champion, yes, yeah. In 2011.
Was it Ronaldo there top 5?
No.
Oh no, because Schneider came 4th, right?
Yeah, especially that being a World Cup year. I don't think Ronaldo was top 5.
Wait, 2010.
2010, yes, 2010.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Ronaldo came 6th, then Iker Casillas 7th.
Yeah. Trying to think.
21, but I think 21 Benzema was there, right?
Yeah, what about when Messi won it? The World Cup one. Because Mbappe was still PSG, no?
Yep.
Yeah, I doubt Ronaldo was there.
Yeah, no top 5. Vinny came 6th.
Yeah, see, I mean, when Madrid don't win, it's definitely possible for them. Like they won't even bother pushing their campaign and stuff. But if they do win, they'll try and squeeze it for everything they can get. But I think this season is going to be hard to stop the Barca and PSG group because they've been the 2 best teams in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. But I think it comes down now really to what PSG do in the next 2 weeks.
And what the boost does, because
I think this PR right now of Lamine is at an all-time high. I think he's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the what he's doing is crazy as well. Let's not beat around the bush. I mean, he's now become Iron Robin. With once he cuts in, it's a goal. He had that chance. You probably didn't watch the game yesterday, and I hope you didn't because that's crazy. We were of course losing 3-2. He cut inside again, 9th minute. He shot it. It was going on target. It was gonna go in, and then Juan Foyth blocked it. It's crazy that it's just perfect every single time, and he's doing it. Like I told you, I'm not gonna bore you too much. It says here in the criteria. Where is it? If I just pull it up, super quickly, it says individual performances, decisiveness, and influence. Like I've been saying since August, Lamine is the best and most important player in this team. That's influence. Decisiveness. Look at him in the Champions League. Every single big game this season, he's performed. 4-0 against Madrid, 5-2, 3-2, 4-3, Benfica round 16, Dortmund quarterfinals, into semifinal, the 3 games against Atletico Madrid, the 1 in the league and the 2 in the cup. He performed he got minimum 8 out of 10 in every single big game this season. That is the definition of decisiveness and the influence that he has as well. Look at how we've been playing in the past 2 months. The defense has been so crap. What do? We give the ball to Lamine and we just say inshallah. And he delivers. He delivers. He has, I think, 19 goals and 20 assists, 40 GA. You know how much he had 7 GA last season. 7. From 7 to 40 is absolutely mental. And you can't say that I'm bandwagon and stuff like that because I've been telling you this. We've done the show the whole entire year. I said to you in October, especially when he got injured he got injured in October for I think 2 weeks, in November for a month, which kind of made the season a bit harder for us to win the league. We would have won the league way earlier. And I think also because we had all the depth for Levy was also injured. Ansu was injured. Farad was injured. Our two wingers from the B team as well, Daniel Rodriguez, Tony Fernandez, they were injured as well. So we had absolutely no wingers, no natural wide men. But I told you that. And it's, it just makes my case even more and more clear. I think he is the favorite right now. I think the only way Dembouz can win it is just titles. I think even if he puts in performances, people will just say that Lamine has performed better this season. If he scores the Champions League final, of course, that's maybe a bit different. But I think he needs 2 out of Champions League, Club World Cup, and Nations League. I think he wins 2 of those. It's so hard to argue against it. I mean, of course, if you win the quadruple, that'll be a different one. That'll be a different one too. But I just think that like we talked about, if it goes to the best player in the world, the best player in the world is Lamine Yamal. It is not Dembele. Like the fact that I think Dembele has 46 GA, like Lamine's only 6 off him, being injured 2 months. And
no, but Yamal has played way more games than Dembele this season. Yamal has played at least 1,500 minutes, like nearly 15 games more than Dembele this season. That's the reason for that. Like Dembele's GA, when you look at it per 90, it's like much better. Like when they showed that minute, I think, what was it, in the Champions League, like Dembele every 66 minutes, Yamal is like 105. So yeah, in that number, it's closer. I just think the Yamal hype at the moment is very strong. I don't think it will survive that long because of the stuff that will happen until then. So as you mentioned,
that's a very good point. That's what I think about too.
I legit thought the Yamal hype would be over after the Espanyol game because that was the last important game. Like the Villarreal game was irrelevant, but he still got insane PR. That goal, I think he had like 100 million views, like 80K likes or something.
Yeah, he scored a goal.
I've never seen it.
Bro, it's not Habib, it's not even that. It's that he's scoring bangers. We're down 1-0. Who comes from the depth and save us? What did that say in the Baldo criteria? Decisiveness and influence. That is the definition of it. I think if he scored like a tap or something like that, it would have been that crazy. But the fact he scored that trademark goal from distant bender, it was top left against Espanyol. This time it was bottom left, right inside the post. I mean, like, come on. Like you said, I think that right now his PR is at an all-time high. It will die down because why? He's not going to play.
If the Ballon d'Or was given now,
yeah, he gets it now, 100%. Right now, like tomorrow, he gets it. But like you said, you made the best point that he's going to stop playing now, and who's going to play now for the next month and a half? It's going to be Dembouz. So he has to. Calma. So Dembouz is going to have to. I think again. We live in an era now where unfortunately trophies mean I think trophies mean a lot more than performances. That's why I said if he wins 2 of the 3, I think there's like no argument. I think I have no leg to stand on because I can say to you, oh, that means perform better, blah blah blah. Dembele took some time to get into the season, blah blah blah. But you'll say, bro, we won the quadruple and the Nations League. We won the quadruple and the Club World Cup. I can't argue that.
Yeah,
so that's why I think we shifting. This will all be funny if you don't win the. I was thinking about this last night. Like, imagine if you don't win the cup against Reims, and then this whole thing is just everything just blows up. Like if Reims stop you from doing the treble, and instead you do a treble, and then Club World Cup and Nation League we don't know yet. But like Reims could just blow up this. If Reims, if you lose to Reims, I see like the bookies they're gonna jump like 10-15%.
But haven't you seen like the Palace stuff? Palace they won. For the first time, like how long? Bologna,
Newcastle, yeah.
Newcastle. I checked. Stade de Reims. I mean, they've won a Ligue 2, but we don't count that. Their last trophy was like in 1964. But Paris Saint-Germain have never won the Champions League. So you know what? I would take losing to Stade de Reims if that guaranteed me the chance to win the Champions League final.
For sure. But yeah, I think we'll see what Dembouz does. He had a stinker the other day. I know.
No, he's at the moment like he needs because his last start was the Arsenal first leg.
Mm-hmm.
then he got injured. Then obviously he came off the bench in the Arsenal game, barely did anything. And then in the league games, he's barely played. Or like last game, he missed two big chances and tied the top scorer with Greenwood. He still got the top scorer because he played less minutes. Greenwood took penalties as well. But no, it was an embarrassing night. Like so many Barca fans were tweeting on it as well.
I was
But
on it too. I got some
that
good
won't
engagement
matter.
on that. It won't matter. You're right.
That
Like I
won't,
said, right now he's there's not really anything around him. Everything's around Lamine because Barcelona's the center of attention. But if he just cooks in the big moments, I think it's in Dembele's hands. I don't think it's in Lamine's hand. Again, I am hoping that Dembele
exactly.
flops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's Dembele can bottle this,
Yes.
or he can, like all of this Dembele has done will not be seen as big if he doesn't do it when it actually matters. And this is when it matters. Like Dembele scored in the Trophy du Champion final, the Super Cup final, and now he has this cup final and then the Champions League. If he scores in all
And Lamine's already done it too. He scored in the Super Cup. He got
Super
two
Cup, yeah.
assists, in the Copa del Rey. Was big in the last 2 weeks to win the league against Espanyol and Madrid. I think he had a goal and assist against Espanyol and a goal and assist against Madrid as well. So the decisive influence is on his side. I think for Dembele, if he wins the Champions League, that puts so much pressure on Lamine to win the Nations League. So
I
again,
mean,
it's in his hand.
that's what I wanted to come to. So,
Mhm.
did you watch the Nations League quarterfinals?
The ones during March, yeah.
I think this was by far the best Nations League ever.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they added quarterfinals. They've also added second place and third place games as well. But this game is just becoming bigger day by day. I wish it was the final. That would have been better.
I thought it was when you were talking about it.
And they bottle it.
When you were talking about it, I thought it was them on each side going to the final. I didn't know it was the actual semifinal. Because imagine, let's say for example, okay, let me ask you this. Let's say France win, right? Let's say you won the Champions League. France win 2-0. Dembele and Mbappe score. They lose in the final. Would you say that's irrelevant? Or would you still say that Dembouz should do?
Depends on your. I would still say that even if Spain lose, but Yamal has a masterclass, he can still get more PR.
Okay.
We saw Mbappe. Mbappe got so much fucking PR when he lost that World Cup final.
Yeah, he did. To be fair.
They want to feel sad for him. And you would see Yamal, they would be, oh, no Champions League for Yamal now. This maybe some sympathy votes, but yeah, like I agree with you on the sense that game, the person that can win the most is Yamal. It depends though on the Champions League. If we lose the Champions League final, then that game matters more for Dembele than for Yamal, I think. Because if we lose the Champions League final, Dembele must probably have had a bad game. Missed some chances as well. Champions League final is the most watched game in the world after the World Cup final. And that's another thing that I wanted to come to. The last time we saw Ousmane Dembele at the biggest stage in the world.
He gave us a penalty. Vamos, Damus. Wait, not only did he give us a penalty. What else happened? Stinker and hooked at halftime. Not even at halftime. The 45th minute. 44th minute. Look at that. Haram. Look at that. Astaghfirullah.
5.6. 0 out of 5
ground duels. No successful dribble. Astaghfirullah. Dribble pass twice. Astaghfirullah. Who's he coming against again? He was coming against Tagliafico,
No, he was coming up against
Di Maria cooked him, to be fair.
He's like one of the only Madrid players that a lot of Barca fans love because of
we hate.
He's a nice guy. He's never been like.
We hate the club Di Maria, but we love the national team Di Maria.
Okay.
Yeah, even Di Maria for PSG.
When he was at Madrid, was he like, like a Pepe, like very antagonistic against Barca?
No, he just cooked. He just cooked.
Yeah, that Puyol one.
Yeah, he was more of a Pepe when he was at PSG because he would score against us and shush us, but in the end we'd still beat him. So we always got the last laugh. Yeah. But in that moment, he'd be like a Pepe. He'd be a bit of a dick. So, but yeah, Stinker hooked in the last big moment. Demboost. That's probably the best thing he did in a Barca shirt. So,
think about how much has changed since then. Like He
Yeah,
came back
true.
to the
He
season with you guys, played a couple of games,
played
got
well.
injured, was out for the rest of the season, right?
Look at that Messi rating, by the way. He told me he didn't deserve that Ballon d'Or. Look at that, man. Fucking
Wait,
hell.
where is it? 8.5 with a hat trick?
Look at Messi's. Open up Messi's. Open up a. Allah, look at that. What's the dribbles? Only attempted 2 and was successful in neither of them? Wow, damn. 4 long balls completed 4. Good passing accuracy.
Yo, you see, it was a stinker, man. And you know, for the Mbappe second goal, Messi lost it to Camavinga.
He did, yeah. But Mbappe did score 2 penalties. So, in the game, he scored 3 in total, including the penalty shootout. But the second goal was of course, it was a banger.
Yeah.
The 2-2-1.
But do you think Dembele would have this kind of a performance in the Champions League final? Or
Inshallah. 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 I need red or orange for Dembele in the Champions League final. That's what I need. That's what I need. But I think, yeah, the Nations League, it'll be interesting to see if, like, one of the teams win it, like, whether France or Spain win, then they actually lose in the final. That just kills, like, the hype and everything about it. But, because we kind of think about it like, oh, whoever wins this, guaranteed to win the final. But, you know, Germany's still a good team. Portugal's still a good team. So it won't be like a walk in the park. It's not like Switzerland versus, I don't know, Albania or something where it's, like, easy final. So we will see. But if, again, this game becomes a World Cup semifinal if PSG do not win the Champions League.
Exactly. I've also seen like the Yamal fans, when they talk about this final, they're not just talking about this game. They're also saying dunking on Ronaldo's head in the final.
Yeah,
I don't think Portugal will make it. From what I saw, Germany looked better. Like Portugal, they struggled versus Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting though, the season has ended. Mourinho could leave Fenerbahce, and he's been linked with the Portuguese national team.
There's no way he's gonna take over the job like not gonna take over the job a week before the tournament, surely, right? That's just crazy.
Maybe they give it to him after preparing for the World Cup.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I don't think they would. Who's it right now? Roberto Martinez, right? They probably will let him at least finish it, since he's like a decent national team manager on paper, even though he's done nothing in the big moment. But Mourinho coaching Portugal would be crazy. Mourinho, Portugal, Ancelotti, Brazil. National team might be back, you know.
Germany, Tuchel. No, 2026 World Cup. It's in America as well. It could be.
I hopefully I'll try and go to a game. I'm not paying, you know, $1,000 for Ghana versus Croatia or anything. I need a good game. But the most interesting part now for the season, for me anyways, is the Ballon d'Or race. I think my dream of having 3 Barca players on the podium. I mean, if Spain win the Nations League, maybe Pedri can get some PR. Maybe my dream can still be alive, and then Barca win the Champions League. So it's still there, but like I said, and like you agreed upon, it's in the hands of PSG, France, and Dembus himself. I'm hoping for. I need and hope for failure. It's not like it's a guarantee. Of course, would you say if Ballon d'Or goes tomorrow, would you give it to Lamine?
No.
Astaghfirullah, man.
Why I think people will give it is because Yamal just has extra PR because he's young.
Yeah, he's young.
Like with Due, Barca boy. Due is like our Yamal. He's like the youngster with the tricks and so on. He was in voting for top 5 player, like best player in Ligue 1. He was 5 of the nominees. How was he there? He made the team of the season in Ligue 1. How was he there? He won young player of the season, better than Neves. So,
but what Lamine is
then it's also recency bias. Like the past 2 months, I don't think Dembele has scored since March. I've seen some people say this because he barely plays in Ligue 1, in the league. But then obviously basically the last 2 months he had that Dunkirk performance, and then the Arsenal goal, and then got a cheeky assist in the second leg as well.
But with Lamine,
the past 2 months Dembele has barely done that much.
But with Lamine, it's not just his PR, but it's PR in the sense of when he does it. He plays for Barcelona, the rivals with Real Madrid, the 2 biggest clubs in the world, and he's dunking on them with bangers. It's not like he's scoring taps like Mbappe and like if he does the reverse, let's say he scores a hat trick against Madrid and we win, they're all tap-ins. I don't think everyone would be, you know, super crazy, but the independence on the decisiveness, the influence, and how he performs and delivers every single time. Even look at the Inter game where we lost. We lost, right? We lost. Fair enough. Look at him in that game. Dropped a 9 out of 10 performance. Creative outlook, decisiveness, hit the post twice, won the free kick outside the box. He was doing absolutely everything. Rafinha gets the praise because he scored the what we thought was the dagger. Eric Garcia and John Martin get some high because they got goals and assists. But look at the stats. You can even pull up on SofaScore. You'll see Lamine 9 out of 10. You'll see my match review after the game, 9 out of 10. Yeah. That's what he does. And he's doing it on the world stage in front of everyone. I remember you talked about that as well, doing it. You said, I think, back in during that March international break, we were talking a lot about the Ballon d'Or. You said that doing it in the big moments is going to be huge. Exactly. UCL semifinals, Clásicos. I mean, he's not missed a big game. Not missed a big game.
Those 4 games, he told everyone, I should be ahead of Pedri. I should be ahead of Rafinha from Barca's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
No, all I can say is obviously shout out to Yamal, because as a professional, not as a person, as a professional, because the biggest part of the season came up, and this is when the mentality is shown. That's why I think Vinicius Jr. last season, he was my pick for the Ballon d'Or, because I felt in the biggest moments, tough games against Bayern. You remember in the Bayern second leg, Vinny had like a Yamal versus Inter away performance. Like he had no GA, but the amount of danger, threat he created. I think he also took the shot that led to the Joselu goal. So no, I will always value players, stepping up when the team needs them.
One final thing.
Should be here.
One final thing before we sign off. I think that's also what's also helping Lamine Yamal a lot is everything around him as well. Everyone is saying who's the best player in the world. Everyone's saying Lamine, whether they be in football or outside of football. Everyone is saying Lamine. That's also giving us that extra PR boost that we need. Like there's a player from Villarreal yesterday. He came out. He was asked about Lamine Yamal. He said, "Look, guys, Lamine Yamal is really good." At one point, he stared me down. I was like, "Hey, I don't want to end up on TikTok edit," so I backed off. Marcelino, the coach, told us to double team him every single time. He's a pain. He's the best in the world. Calafiori saying it as well. Giannis Antetokounmpo saying it. Everyone is saying that Lamine is the best player in the world. Rio Ferdinand, Gary Lineker. So not only is the PR and sense of his performance there, but also with the media, which is going to be big too. And the fact that he's 17 gives them an extra motivation to vote for them as well.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's on the boost, man. Yeah, you gotta. It's in your hands, though. It's in your hands. No, but everyone would want it. Everyone would want it in their hands. You don't want to. You don't want to be like me, where I'm hoping that you fail, or I'm hoping that this X, Y, and Z happen. I read to be in your position, because you know that your team did win it. You're gonna have your belief. So as long as your team cooks, you'll be okay. But if they don't, we will be there.
For me, it just it's like I've been with Ousmane Dembélé this entire season. I've seen them boots. Like beginning of the season started, no Mbappe. He was like, I'm the star of this team. He cooked, in the league. Then the UCL games came, and the pressure of being the main man at PSG, he couldn't handle it. And then
he got benched.
He got benched, beef with Lucho, all of that. And then he came and just decided to carry us. Obviously, his goal scoring patch, it's mostly been because he hasn't played in the league games. He mostly comes off the bench. In the UCL, he's still been scoring and assisting in nearly every single UCL game.
But the UCL, when it comes to the end, Rafinha, I think, will get the player of the tournament.
Not if we win it.
I think if you win, unless Dembele has a hat trick, he's been the best player in the Champions League. He's a top goal scorer, top assister. He performed in all the big games. He scored against Inter as well. You're one game away from the final.
I give Rafinha the group stage, but I think Dembele has been better in the knockout stages than Rafinha. No,
I think Rafinha has like 13 goals and 10 assists. He's performed. A lot of that. He scored against. He scored against Benfica. He scored the 1-0, the dagger that we needed to win away. Came second leg. He scored against Dortmund. He scored against Inter in the first leg. I mean, it was a summer own goal, but he had the shot. Second leg, he scored as well. He scored at every single stage. Literally scored every day. He has the most. I think he's tied for the most GA in Champions League history in one campaign with Ronaldo.
The same, had harder opponents and will possibly win the Champions League.
Had harder opponents, but he lost. You lost to Bayern. You lost to Arsenal. You lost to Atletico.
I'm only talking knockouts.
Oh, okay.
I think Dembele has had the better knockouts because he's faced tougher teams, and I think he's had the GA in every single game, apart from Liverpool at home where he had a great game. Yeah, that's the only.
I think he needs like a brace. I think he needs a brace in the Champions League. I think if they win it and he doesn't do anything, they'll give it to Rafa.
No. I'm very happy with facing Inter because I don't know. You know, I think we would have looked better if we didn't face these disgusting defensive English sides. Obviously, Inter is, you know, a defensive side, but I wouldn't say they're as disgusting as the English side. Like the English sides, they're not there to play football.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think it's gonna be maybe a bit easier for our players to look better.
I
But
mean,
I
just
think one thing
look.
that's happening is Kvara. Kvara is dangerous for Dembu's Ballon d'Or because I'm seeing in lists. I think a lot of people will put potentially Kvara top, especially if we win the if we win the Champions League, go deep Club World Cup. Kvara could be eating off Dembu's Ballon d'Or points as well
Mhm.
because Kvara is. And I've said that I think going into next season. Now we finish off with Dembu's Ballon d'Or next season. I think Kvara is gonna be our best because he's.
Hey, next season that means getting number 10, so I don't think you're ready for it.
Thing is though, if we're gonna discuss Ballon d'Or next year, the season Champions League, it's cute, but it won't matter because it's World Cup year and it's gonna be huge.
Unless one team does it like a treble, it won't matter. You're right.
No, yeah.
I
I'm
think if a
hoping
team,
for
as if-
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo what?
Ronaldo World Cup.
No,
First of all,
why?
a bunch of PSG players win the World Cup. Gonzalo
Uh,
Ramos, Joao Neves, Nuno Mendes, Vitinha. But then the GOAT debate opens up.
no,
And then we
fuck you,
can maybe
mate.
push Dembouz into it when he's like 33. We just have to ruin Messi's like thing. If Ronaldo wins it, then he gets the Ballon d'Or.
I think the only way Portugal win it is if Ronaldo's not a starter. If Ronaldo's not a starter, if I see the first game
I
of the World
agree.
Cup and Ronaldo's not starting, I will shit myself. But
Yeah,
if he's
'cause-
starting, I'll say Alhamdulillah. We're good.
All right. I felt we discussed obviously a little bit about the Champions League final, but mostly more towards the
We'll
Ballon
save it for
d'Or.
next time. Yeah.
Exactly. I also thought a combined 11 because yes, sure, you have one more league game to play. We have two more cup finals. They are big, but I don't think they're going to change anything with the
Mhm.
players potentially performing for us probably already in the 11. So yeah, next episode, 31 people. Make sure obviously to subscribe to Barca Boys channel if you haven't. Episode 31 will be live there next Monday, similar time at another time. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But pleasure having you on as usual, Barca Boy.
Always,
And
always.
Ale Dembooz from me, Ale Yamal from you. See who wins it, man.
Allez Rams, allez Rams.
All right, then, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. That's been it from boy PSG.